Give us a little background on your upbringing and how it got you here.
I was born and raised in Blytheville, Arkansas, attended Blytheville Public Schools, graduated Blytheville High School, attended Arkansas State University, major in criminology. Got involved in law enforcement in 1979 as a reserve officer here while I was attending college at ASU. From that point, I went full-time at the Blytheville Police Department in 1981, worked there to 92, came to Jonesboro then, and worked my way up through the ranks at the Jonesboro Police Department, and I was appointed to the Chief of Police in September 2014 by Mayor Harold Perrin.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Was there one person in law enforcement that you think made the biggest difference?
I wouldn't say there's really one person. You always look at, there's somebody that you work with or work for that you kind of have an admiration for. Kind of look at that role model and go from there.
How do you help support the idea of good policing every day?
As you know, in the media, a lot of times policing gets a bad eye. Bad things go on. Sometimes officers other places do stupid things. And it causes a bad image for policing across the country. We all suffer for it. So, we want to ensure that whatever our officers are doing, that they're always doing the right thing and what they're supposed to be doing, and making those positive contacts with the community, closing that gap, building the bridge, making those connections. So that's kind of our number one goal day in and day out. On the other side, if I do have somebody that's not doing what they should be doing, then I'll terminate that person.
Like you said earlier, all your days are different, but what does your average day-to-day look like?
Typically Monday morning, all the department heads meet with the mayor at 8:30. So that takes care of most of Monday mornings. Then I have my internal staff meetings on Tuesday mornings. The day really doesn't stop until I go to bed, and even during the middle of the night, the calls still come, get back up and repeat. So every day is different. I may have a day planned out and something bad happened in the community that, the whole schedule gets scratched and I'm tied up with that incident that day. You can plan a day, you can schedule out a week, you can schedule out a month, but there's no guarantee, you're going to follow that schedule. Everything is subject to change.
Back in on your day-to-day, what has been your most memorable day on the job, good or bad, and why?
Well, I guess it'd be the worst day, and that would be March 24, 1998, the school shooting out at Westside. So I was one of the first responders to the school, and you get out and you see a bunch of kids laying on the ground bleeding, and you got kids that were physically injured, and then you have some that were in shock, but they're still on the ground, so you don't know how many casualties you're dealing with. So that's a day that has stuck in my mind, I guess, ever since. We end up Jonesboro processing that crime scene. It was out in the county, but the sheriff's office is kind of a small agency, and so we spent the rest of that day processing that scene. So came in as a first responder, then turned the hat around and did what I did at the time was criminal investigation work and crime scene work. So I went into that mode for the rest of the day. But it's just one of those events that anytime we have a school incident across the country, it kind of brings back bad memories. And that's why I kind of made it our goal that, if anything bad happens at Jonesboro, that our response will be quick and overwhelming to protect the kids.
What is one thing that you are most proud of so far since becoming chief?
Bringing the department up and beyond what needs to be done to effectively run a law enforcement agency. There are a lot of agencies, especially in this state, that does not have this kind of technology. They're still handwriting reports and tickets and things like that. But as large as the city is and large as the agency is, we have to stay on top of technology to be more efficient. So we can do more a lot of times with less bodies by being more efficient.
Like you said, the technology was something that you needed to get the job done. So what work is still yet to be done in the community in your eyes?
We're always in a state of trying to recruit the best officers that we can find. We have found that today's climate across the country, this is not a job profession that's really desirable to get into due to the scrutiny that officers face day in and day out. Not so much here, but in other places. And as you can see, there's a mass exodus of law enforcement officers from agencies all across the country. So there's a shortage right now, and the challenge of retaining the people we have is, one of the things we kind of look at daily, what we can do to better the environment both internally and with the city to retain that employee.
As you look at your career now, what kind of legacy do you want to be left on the city of Jonesboro?
It's kind of like I said, early on, it's leave the department in a better place than when I came into the department. I was also instrumental in the development of the new shooting sports complex. That was my concept from the ground up. Overseeing the police department every day, I added more to my plate than what was required, but again, that was another passion that I had as far as being involved in shooting sports.
Thank you for that involvement. What's next for you when you hang up your badge?
I'm down to probably 4 years or less, and it'll be about time that I'll turn it in. I don't want to sit at home. I want to do something else. Probably go work out at the range.